Another legend of talkSPORT, Adrian Durham, is with us this morning. Adrian, I met Moose for the first time yesterday. What was the first experience you had with the Moose?
It was in 1994 at a press box in Reading. I have known this guy a long time. My bit of advice to you is never get in a car with Ian Abraham, because he's the worst driver the planet has ever known. But yes, he has got a lot of words. And what you said earlier about, is it women have 1,000 more words than men a day?
I believe so.
Get through? Right, 999 of them are not worth it, to be honest with you. there's one that is worth it, but we won't go into that.
Oh, Adrian Durham, shots fired early doors. I can't help it. It's like pure diarrhea sometimes of
just can't stop talking.
Verbals, and sometimes I hear myself and I'm like, shut up, like this moment right now.
Shebahn, what you don't know, Gabby, is Shebahn and I went out for a brunch about 2-3 years ago, and I've still my ears are still ringing. So
thanks,
I can imagine, Adrian.
Yeah, that's you. Never get invited out ever again. Adrian, let's talk about the Carabao Cup, shall we? 2008 winners Tottenham host 2023 winners Manchester United tonight. Marcus Rashford, as we all know now, will not be involved with the game, but his manager for now, Rashford Amorim, says he still wants to keep the striker. Here you go.
Of course, because this kind of club needs big talent, and he's a big talent. So we just need to perform at the highest level, and that is my focus. I just want to help Marcus.
Yeah, so he said yesterday in the press conference, Adrian, I don't want to talk about Marcus Rashford, but naturally a lot of the questions were about his situation. What do you think about the fact that he was left out of the derby? He reportedly called in sick on the Monday. He went to do the lovely gesture that was visiting the schools and giving out gifts to these kids that some are so underprivileged it might be the only gift they get this Christmas, and then left out of the squad on Wednesday. He done that interview with Henry Winter on Tuesday. What did you make of it?
Well, I mean, I'd ask the question, first of all, how hard is it to be the best professional you can be? I think that would be the first question I would ask Marcus Rashford. Henry Winter's done great work there. You said it earlier, it's brilliant. But honestly, Marcus Rashford doing good work in the community, giving out gifts to underprivileged kids is fantastic. Loads of players do that, and they don't need to call in one of the country's top journalists to tell everybody about it. I want to know, is Marcus Rashford going to invite Henry Winter on a night out with him? Is he going to invite Henry Winter to a meeting with his advisors to see what they really say about his career, about his teammates, about the fans, about Man United? Probably not. That's what we need to really find out about Marcus Rashford, exactly what is going on and what is going wrong. You said earlier United have got a massive challenge for him. He's asked for a challenge. There is a challenge at United, and you're right. But I think there's an element here where he needs to get away from Manchester. I think that's possibly the key to this. We know there's a brilliant footballer in there. The 30 goals a couple of years ago, I think for England, some of his performances have been brilliant as well at times. But there's no consistency, and there's something wrong. There's something not right. I believe if he gets away from Manchester, for whatever reason that might be, it doesn't really matter. Get away from Manchester and go and perform. I'd love to see him go abroad and rip it up and get back in the England team. But I think it's sad it's not worked out at Manchester United. Amorim's management of this is spotless, by the way. It's absolutely brilliant. I just want to see Marcus Rashford be the fantastic footballer we know he is.
It's a shame as well, isn't it, Adrian, that a new manager coming in normally brings the whole squad together. Everyone's excited. Everyone's flying around in training. Everyone's enjoying it. For him to already be coming out and saying this and to be dropped for the derby, a Manchester lad, Mr. Manchester United, just shows, like he says, something he's not doing right during training. Something is not right around the training ground. Is he moping around? Is he not smiling? Is he not happy? Do you know what I mean, Adrian? It just doesn't sit right, does it?
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like Rashford Amorim's this big ego who's come in to make a statement and flex his muscles. It feels like he really wants to do well in the job. And it also feels like he thinks he's not going to do well in the job if he has Marcus Rashford in and around that first team picture at this moment in time. What a damning indictment that is of a professional footballer. And here's the key. Professional footballer. Sometimes you can get away with it, like you, Gabby, and not be totally professional all the time. Marcus Rashford cannot do that. If he's unprofessional off the field, that reflects on the field, and he doesn't do the basics, which is running about, giving 100%. We can see it with our own eyes. I think it's such a shame. I'd love to see him rip it up at Manchester United because he's so good and he's a Manchester lad. For whatever reason, in his head, that doesn't feel like...
Also, Adrian, Garnacho's got to be careful. Like, don't, like, you're a little kid here, mate. You haven't made it yet. You need to get your act together. Some of the senior players at the club should be talking to him and saying there's no way you should be missing the Manchester derby when you're not injured.
Well, I think this might have come as a surprise to a lot, the Garnacho side of the story. Obviously, we're focused on Marcus Rashford because he's an England or former England international. The Garnacho one is a little bit of a shock because the fans love him. He's like the replacement for Cristiano Ronaldo. They've basically taken Garnacho's name and put him in the Ronaldo song. And he's done some brilliant things, scored some brilliant goals for Manchester United. So, yeah, but I think there was a hint of this before because he had a little bit of an issue. When he was just bursting onto the scene, I think he thought he was bigger than he was. There was an issue around the Argentina camp. There was an issue around United. Seemed to be ironed out. Seemingly not. Amorim's come in, spotted it, decided to act on it. Listen, Manchester United, if they are to resurrect under Ruben Amorim, can do it without Garnacho and without Rashford. It might take a little bit longer. They might have to bring in certain players and move those two on. But these players, they've been in and around Man United without winning the title. And that's what United want to be. So they've not made themselves undroppable or indispensable. From Rashford's point of view, I honestly think he's a bit of an idiot for doing what he's done, especially with the Henry Winter thing. It's almost like he's saying, I am completely perfect. Can't you see how good I am for this city and how brilliant a person I am? When we all know he's not been 100% professional in everything he's done at Manchester United. I think he looks a bit of an idiot here and the optics aren't good. He just needs to get back on the pitch. That's not going to happen at Man United anytime soon, I don't think.
And considering he spoke to a journalist when Garnacho, for example, there's been rumours that he was dropped from the squad at the weekend because his brother, reportedly, nothing confirmed, has been leaking team news, yet Rashford sets himself up with a journalist. I mean, perhaps then it points all arrows at him as well, that there's been leaks through journalists on that. It's not a good look for Rashford. I've always defended him, Adrian, and now it's really hard to. Just quickly on Spurs, you know, we should focus on them tonight. How big is this for Ange Postecoglou if he's to go one step further to winning a trophy tonight?
Do you know, the weird thing about this is if they go on and win the Carabao Cup, it's a great day out. It's a great thing. It's a trophy and he's fulfilling his second-year promise. But it actually won't solve some of the problems at Spurs. But if they go out tonight, he's got a massive issue. Ange Postecoglou. He's got to play. I heard you earlier. He's got to play his strongest side tonight. He's got to win the game. This is a guy who is under pressure, but he's putting himself under pressure by saying his job is harder than the Prime Minister's job and all this nonsense. He started talking utter rubbish. What we know is he's now realising Premier League is far more difficult than Scotland, than Japan, than Australia. He's got to get used to that and quick and stop moaning about it.
Yeah, I wish he hadn't said it's the hardest job in the world. I wish he'd said something like it's the hardest job to be good at. But going on that you've got the hardest job when you're probably a multimillionaire and you're in the Premier League and you've already made it to that stage, I think sounds like, I don't know, a bit of a pity party. Adrian, we're looking forward to this tonight. Thank you so much for coming on.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.